Okay, we're ready.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh dear. I call the Evergreen Cemetery Committee meeting to order on August the 1st, 2019 at 5:30?
We're like 5:36 now.
5:36. Okay. Richie's here. Snooty? Here. Grace? Here. Linda? Deborah? Here. Joan Hanson? Here. And Jesus Howard.
Here.
And Terry Maddox is not here. The following items to be discussed, considered, and/or decided upon during this meeting. Old business, there is none. New business, discussion and possible approval to replace rubber stripping on kiosk at the cemetery.
Do we have a key?
We're getting that made. The locksmith is coming on Monday.
Good.
Locksmith. But we are getting it fixed when he gets it.
We'll get the locks and then we gotta replace the rubber.
I think it needs rubber sealing locks on your car windows.
We could, if that's what you guys would like.
Well, it needs to be waterproof, because that's what happened. And the map is not damaged.
Okay.
It's just loose. It just fell down.
Well, when we get it open, we'll definitely take a look at it.
Okay. All right. And you're getting a locksmith. It says discussion of possible approval. Do I have a motion to get the locksmith?
Well, they've already.
We already got the locksmith. It's the
Done.
It's the rubber that you guys are actually gonna tell me if you want have it sealed.
Yeah, it needs seals, and that rain doesn't get in there.
Was it
And-
water, was the stripping weatherproof
Yeah.
that they put
I-
in?
I-
It just rotted or something?
They didn't put it, I don't know what they put in there, but it's hanging loose. They didn't glue it down. And the, where we put the brochures, that needs to be, because they got watered on too. Okay, discussion and possible approval to install a curb on C Avenue.
Did you guys want to quickly vote on number one? It's on there. We have to you have to do the motion and then
Oh, okay.
second and then favor.
Okay.
I so move that we replace the rubber stripping on the kiosk at the cemetery.
You got a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number two, discussion and possible approval to install a curb on C Avenue. The reason that I put this on there, when you go up C, they have taken that grader and graded, and we have a stone that I would say was 8 foot tall and 4 foot wide, a big memorial. They have completely cut this person's body off. That road goes right up to that headstone.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And it goes from there, and it goes on up, and it has cut the right foot and the left leg up to the knee on the next grave. And it's mind-boggling what they have done.
But it needs a curb, not just paved?
It needs paved, but I want a curbing.
I don't believe any of those roads are actually paved.
And they have been before, not
They may
those.
have, and they may have been. They may
There's
be
been
deteriorated.
asphalt.
They
There-
were, and they graded
because
them down.
It's not now though. It's not. It's not in any condition that you could say it's I don't believe it is. I'd have to look. I'd have to go back and look. But
Well, it was-
if you want it curb
About 4
and
years ago.
it.
paved.
Yes, if they would, because the,
Okay, so that's
there's
why I
lots-
brought my budget book here, because if we're gonna talk about doing that,
yeah,
your operational expenses for the 2019 and 20 is $4,000. That paving and curb and gutter
Will cost.
will probably take it all. So, like if I'm directed to, we'll go in there and we'll look at that, and if that's what you want, we'll do it.
well, you have to take a look at it first and then we'll revisit it, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a little.
Okay,
That's
so
our
what I'll
whole
do is
budget
I'll do.
shot, one little project.
For our yeah, it is.
It ain't a
For our
little.
next meeting then, what I can do is I will get a proposal together and tell you how much that's gonna cost.
Okay, all right.
So I guess for this one, we're just gonna table this.
Yes.
Table, okay, next time. Okay, number 3. Oh, we gotta vote on that.
I have a question. You said that part of the cemeteries were cut off. Did they widen C or something?
What happens is, because the grave she's talking about, it's actually kind of at an intersection. And when people are driving through there,
Oh.
they're driving and eventually they start
No.
driving closer and closer and essentially driving over.
No.
And so essentially when they're doing
The turn.
The grader did it. The city grader graded that thing. It's
But-
real smooth where it cut it off.
But what I'm saying is that there's been traffic doing that, then it looks like that's the road.
Right.
And
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sure that that's what happened.
And they
Yeah.
don't realize that,
Right.
that it goes from west to east, you know. But it's not the people's fault,
Okay.
actually.
Well, no, is that, you mean the
The
people that died?
They come and
or-
look, no, the people that come to look, it's not,
Oh,
you
Right,
know, they don't
right,
realize.
right. Well, because they can't see that.
Yes.
And I think a curb is an excellent idea. And if we have to choose between which one is done, I think the curbing, my opinion is the curbing needs to be done before the paving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we have.
Does it go all the way the entire C Street, all the way up to the top? On both sides?
Yeah, because we've got, they've knocked the curbings off of some babies and some other people over here. They just, it looks, that's what it looks like. They just look like they're drunk or something, and they were going this way and that way, and they just ripped up, that's how they tore up my fences. It's with that front end over it. Okay. Number 3. Discussion and possible approval to remove yucca plants at cemetery. Okay, do we have any discussion?
I want to know why.
Because they're in the way
Of who?
of the graves. There are graves up there. If you take a look and go up in there, half of them have fallen over, and they're there. And they're ready to fall over, and they need to be hauled off.
Are they on graves?
They're right between the graves. They're laying down. It's a mess. It's garbage is what it is. They're dead ones.
So they're not growing there, they're just, they're
Well, they were
already.
growing there. Some of them are growing on the graves. It needs to be taken in inventory of it, because
And the prickly pear plants?
the prickly pear that are on the graves were planted there by the people who did not put stones on their graves. They wanted those prickly pears there. They're not hurting anything. They're on the grave. They're encased in the frame of the grave.
And there's no headstone there?
Yes.
Oh, there are
There's
headstones.
headstones there, and people have put those in there. But the yucca plants that are in the way need to be taken down. And we could, where you go up C Avenue, and you have that big area in there. You keep going, up C, where they have all those graves over there. There's plenty of room over there, but the yuccas are in the way there too. We have room to bury more people. I don't know how many years ago, what, 20 years ago, they told me they had room for 65 more graves. Well, we've got lots more room than that. We've got room for about 365 more. And I just want the plants that are, yucca plants that are in the way to be removed.
But how about the ones that aren't in the way?
Well, I'd like to have them removed too, but if you like them, well, I suppose you can.
But are they protected?
Yuccas? No,
I mean, there's
Cactus.
deserts of cactus, yeah.
I don't think so, no.
We can check in.
If they had yucca trees, now, the yucca tree is tall, so you can see where you're going. It's hard to find a grave where yucca's hiding, because those things are that big around.
Could I make a recommendation that the first pass-through should be for those yucca trees that are not growing, that are, just need to be hauled away? And then you can take a look at what the rest of them are and make a determination, maybe individually on those.
Yeah,
As to
that
what you
sounds
want
good
to
to
do.
me.
What do you think?
Good.
Yeah, that's what people always headed at.
Yeah, well, make a motion.
I make a motion that yucca plants that have already fallen and died and are in the way, that they be removed, and a second pass be done after the removal to determine and assess what is needed with the others.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, number 4. Is the discussion and possible approval to install a small cement ramp below the third gate, the east gate at the cemetery. It's the utility gate, the great big double gates.
Oh, okay.
There is a drop off like this, and it jars your back teeth, and when the rains come down, it's washing more and more out. If we could get a cement ramp to come, because there's cement where I lock them, and if we had just a small ramp so that rainwater would run off, and they could get out of the cemetery without jarring their back teeth.
So that cement work would be included with curbing for the cement cost?
I would suggest that they be separate projects so that you can decide which ones you want to do. If you don't want, if you have them two separate, you can say this one or both.
Well, why can't they be included on the same?
They could, but if we go in the cement cost that I give you one proposal and it's $12,000, you're gonna have to vote no and then split them up. If I would give them to you in two separate ones,
Well, that little piece of cement there where she's wanting for that gate wouldn't be no $12,000. It wouldn't be as much as the curbing.
I don't even know the extent of it. I would have to go and review
Okay.
with one of you or all of you to show me exactly what we need so that I can put a proposal together.
Well, if you don't have enough money, I'll pay for that one, because it jars my back teeth, and I've got all my teeth now.
Well, then that could be something that you're voting differently on. You could say that,
We hope that
Yeah,
what you
we vote
just
for
said.
what you did.
yeah, if you're gonna vote, is it?
Yeah,
So she, I
she's
second, so she
on.
can keep her teeth.
Yeah, if you lose your teeth, it's more expensive.
Yeah, and so then it's good that if you're saying that, if you're honest and you're true, that's what you want to do. You definitely, it's good that you're bringing that up here, because they would still have to vote to accept essentially the donation that you'd be providing. We
All
can't.
right. I make a motion
That you donate?
that I donate the money to put a small cement ramp below the third gate, the east last gate, the utility gate.
This.
And I second the motion to accept it.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Well, I guess I better say aye. I said it.
Okay.
Unanimous. Okay. Can you give me an estimate on it, please?
Sure.
Okay, update on the cemetery budget for repair, work, and upkeep. What did you just tell us?
4,000.
Oh, the budget. Okay, I can give you the entire budget. The 4,000 was only for operational expenditures.
Okay.
You have $1,500 for water, which
Oh,
we actually don't have water there anymore.
thank God. I'm
So
probably
where do
gonna
we-
take that damn meter out.
We don't have a meter?
No, we took it out.
Okay.
We're paying $500 a month on it. We don't have any water or
There you
irrigation.
go.
We have $690 for sewer and garbage services.
I thought that we would be free, we're city.
Yeah.
No, the rest of the city also pays.
Do they really?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, I have,
I can verify that.
I pay 10,000 a year on my rentals.
Let's see here. We have $2,000 for equipment and tools.
How come we do
Now, let me
that?
tell you something, excuse me.
That's okay, go right ahead.
I tried for years, and I did this at Southwest Gas, I threw a fit until they got an inventory system.
For
the
tools.
Garage, for the cotton picking tools. And when they took things out of the warehouse, screwdrivers, everything, pipe, anything, when they went to lay gas lines and things, hammers, everything, they had it in there. I took from the computer, took it out of the warehouse and put it in their truck. And when they came back, if they had any left over, I put it back into the warehouse. They did not carry tools home with them.
No.
Shovels.
No, they shouldn't.
You just need a chip system.
Yeah, I mean, are we talking about our public works garage? Or are we
Yes.
talking about something with cemetery? That's something completely separate, but I can tell you that they haven't done it, and it's just a matter of implementing something
Where
like
do
that.
they get their?
Equipment.
Their equipment,
Tools?
they usually keep most of their tools in their vehicle that they use daily. If it's something that's a larger piece of equipment, maybe like a generator, then obviously that stays in there, but that's a little bit off subject, if you don't
So,
mind it.
every truck is
I've
equipped
got
with
some
shovels?
Excuse me?
Every truck is equipped with shovels?
I-
Screwdrivers, they don't have to run down to B&D and buy?
For the most part, yes. They should have them available. If they need new ones, then they need to go buy them. I implemented a policy within the Public Works Department. If there's anything over $500, they have to have permission. They have to come and fill out a purchase requisition that I have to sign before we even purchase it.
Well, I would suggest that you take an inventory of all your tools in there and keep a close watch on them. Because they have a habit of walking. And they go down and buy more, and that's a bunch of garbage.
Are we talking about
Yeah.
the tools designated for the cemetery, or are we talking?
I'm talking about any kind of overall
Well,
tool.
then we're really getting off.
We're getting
Yes,
off subject.
yes, I agree. I think we should be more
And
concerned
I-
in inventory about the tools designated specifically for the cemetery committee.
Exactly. Thank you.
Going back to what the budget is, I mentioned that the operational expenses, 4,000. And then there is a general fund internal services for 924.
And what's that?
You know, I'm not quite sure what that is.
That's the general fund.
The general fund, is that the black hole Calcutta?
Our general fund?
Yeah.
That general fund is where everything that comes in that is not earmarked for specific uses.
Oh,
like-
Example would be like HERF funds or the 1% sales tax. Those revenues do not go into the general fund. The other revenues that don't go in would be money collected for sewer services, those types of things. Regular taxes come
Any
into,
enterprise.
in any enterprise department. So anything else for your property taxes, any other of those types, those go into a general fund. And those general funds are distributed to all the departments.
Our $925 goes to another department?
Yes.
Why?
It's a support element for instance, budget for admin and so on. It's a certain percentage from every enterprise in every department.
Yeah, it's a
that goes-
line item within the general fund.
Right.
I would-
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where does the money go, Leslie? The people who buy plots in the cemetery, where does that money go?
General fund.
Why?
I don't know, you'd have to ask them.
That's a good question.
I'm fairly confident, I couldn't tell you for certain. I'm fairly confident that it goes to general fund, but we'd have to confirm with our finance director.
Well, would you
Yeah.
check on that,
Yes, we
please?
can.
Because,
That's our money.
It should,
yes,
Well, but who's doing the actual digging and everything is people from the city.
oh, you pay for that too.
So, well, but that portion We need to talk to
The reason I believe that it goes into general fund is because the cemetery is not an enterprise, a fund, a department or account. It doesn't, an enterprise account has to be able to, be sustain itself.
That's like the mine tour?
Right.
Yes.
And what else, what other enterprise do they have?
Sewer,
Wastewater.
wastewater.
Was that the sewer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I support it, 10,000 a year.
Okay, anything else on that?
So total
The
what
total
budget?
is $9,114.
$9,114.
And we did not cut from cemetery health.
Thank you.
Thank you, because we need, needs to be a lot done.
There were, and you weren't the only one that we did not cut.
It's okay, I know what you meant.
Not.
Okay. All right, number 6, update on Sierra Vista Fry Cemetery 100th anniversary. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. I went up to the Sierra Vista Museum because they're gonna sponsor this. And I got everybody a copy. And then I cut the article out of the newspaper that they published at the same time. Now, I don't want to do it all. I just want to go see what they're doing and see if we can get some ideas for maybe we can do some kind of a promotion of some kind. I know they're doing something for the Day of the Dead, and that's when the kids are over there, right, from Lowell. Are they still
Yeah.
gonna do theirs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting, and
Yeah.
just some history. They got all kinds of things planned. They're gonna have what are those people, the Knights of Columbus from the Catholic Church over there. They wear their things, and they're gonna have,
Now, that's where?
at the Fry Cemetery.
Right.
Yeah, and then on your thing, you have the different places. Some of them are at the Ethel Berger Center, some of them are at the cemetery, some of them are at the library.
What date is that?
They got all different
All
dates.
different dates.
Anyway, but I think the one that we're gonna get an invitation, Jesus,
Okay.
okay, and they're gonna be sending it, probably care of you, inviting our cemetery committee. And
Okay.
if we could go, we're gonna be like guests and stuff, and it's gonna be a nice thing. Just go and see what's going on. Maybe we can get some ideas, so we can get a fundraiser to help us.
Well, if it doesn't fall on, it's on All Souls Day.
Well, there's a budget, there's November the
There-
2nd.
Yeah, it starts on the 1st of October, but it
Yeah.
goes through 10 December.
Yeah. And isn't 10 December our wreath thing?
Because
Fourteenth.
Israel doesn't grant
Fourteenth.
us, we have always celebrated.
But anyway, it's just, we can go out and see what's
Yeah.
going on, get some ideas. And they're excited about us having us too.
Okay,
Okay, that's all I have.
all right.
Okay.
Nobody else has anything to, yeah, okay. Number 7, discussion and update on Wreaths Across America strategic planning. Ms. Grace.
All right, excuse me.
Listen.
One more.
And that one.
Oh, it's going to.
Wreaths Across America ceremony is going to be held on the 14th of December at 10 o'clock at the Evergreen Cemetery. I've contacted the mayor, I've already talked to him about doing the proclamation. So as soon as he said, as soon as I sent him the email, we'll do the proclamation and then get it done. Once he does a proclamation, then we can do our ads in the newspaper, we can blast social media, we can do what we have to do in order to bring, or send it out. I've been actively on Facebook, I have a Facebook page, and I've been actively putting it out there, you know, that what's needed for Wreaths Across America. I've received the $1,500 from Freeport already. Western Bank has indicated that they will do it again, okay? And we did the paperwork for the
Sheriff's grant?
sheriff's grant, you know, so we're waiting on that. I've sent out to Southwest Gas and got a no on that. APS, never heard anything from them. And so I was trying to find out if anybody else knew of any other organizations that we still might have a chance with the new fiscal year coming in, because when I talked to Southwest Gas last year, or might have been, last year for the December one, they said, well, you should have had your proposal into us before April, which I did, and I got nothing from them. But
Who did you talk to at APS?
I just sent a letter to him.
I have a contact, so let me talk to him and see if he
Okay,
gives something.
that would be awesome.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been actively trying to do the corporate sponsorships, and so far, I've gotten some really good feedback on it. I've also talked to the commander of VFW. They want to really be active on this year. What he has proposed is that when we do a photo op with Freeport, and I don't know how many of us want to be there so that we can do the presentation like we did last year. He suggested that we take our banner that they have at the VFW, that everybody has been signing on it, that we take it with us. I have another banner on order for the ceremonies at the cemetery. And that way they can include, that can be included, because he also now is the commander for the, acting commander for the Legion. I've talked to him about including the auxiliary on it, on helping us. And maybe whenever they do their Poppy Day or whatever, that some of us can be there with sponsorship pledge forms that we can hand out. And we also, I requested cards that they sent, that the Wreaths organization sent, where you actually thank the veteran. You have it so that you can give. It doesn't necessarily have to be at a point that they're generating any kind of a sponsorship, just the fact that they're giving that card and they're thanking them for their service. And so I've been working with that. The Laura, of course, has always been really, really good with us, and sure, I think we can get her involved in it also with the paper, which goes back to, once we get the proclamation, we can move forward on that one. The problem I had last year, and only because we got started late, is the fact that we had no escorts. And what they've done in other states and their cities, whenever that whenever that truck comes with the wreaths, or actually transporting the wreaths down, that they have had escorts, whether it's the sheriff's office or some law enforcement, that has actually acted as an escort with that truck to the unloading point. And what the the American Legion Riders, what they want to do, and the commander also said, that they would like to do on Saturday, before the ceremony, is to escort the vehicles taking the wreaths up around Bisbee, with the motorcycles and flags, and so that people can see and then come back to the cemetery.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
So that's what they want to do. Last year I did not. The American Legion, yeah, the Legion Riders. Last year I could not get a vocalist to sing the national anthem. And the gal that I had contacted this year said she can't. Last year I tried contacting the schools, and I was given a no on that one also. And
I know.
yes, a no. We had taps, we had,
Somebody played.
yes, I can't remember his name. He worked for the,
You all sing the national anthem.
yeah, we're the ones that
Well,
sang. But as far as taps, I don't believe we will be able to contact him to get it done. We're hoping, I'm working with the commander to see if we can get it.
Well, we have a band at the high school now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, the guy's doing really good, and I think maybe if we write to him early, or go over and see him early, like, because schools
Yeah,
just started,
they
maybe
could
they
do
will.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to contact him.
I'm sure they will.
Because I was actually discussing this with, at a Relay for Life meeting that I attended in Douglas. And the band director for Douglas said, if you can't find anybody, we'll be there to help you. So they said.
Yeah.
And tell Bisbee that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Tell their-
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they had really not here before.
And, kind of gave me a little, the feeling of, hey, well, we have
Right, we have
something to fall back on.
150-piece band down there.
And he said that he'd have somebody there to pay tax, and also vocalist and band for the
Well,
national
no,
anthem.
yeah.
So if we can, I don't want to use the word shame, but I will.
Yeah, definitely.
our school, in order to do this here at Bisbee High School, we need to do it.
their support.
Yes.
Doesn't he play
No,
the band director over there?
I haven't been to the game, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think
He didn't have
plays
much
one.
of a band, yes, last year.
Well, that's because kids don't, they didn't have any.
Well, he's got a good band this
instruments.
summer, and they were in the parade, won first place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think he plays.
Well, then I'll generate the letter. and
Go
send
there
it.
and ask.
And
I think he does.
Does the high school have a vocalist also? I mean,
Oh, I'm sure they do have some girl that can sing.
Because I know in the past, for the Boys and Girls Club, we've had young ladies and young.
Sure.
Yeah,
men
they
come
sang
in.
the volleyball games, and basketball
I don't
games.
know.
I didn't go
Yeah.
down.
We're gonna ask.
Yeah, we'll ask when we get over.
Yeah, nothing else you know you will.
No, I can't sing, Luke won't
Oh,
let me
no,
sing.
Boys and Girls Club, no. But we've got someone from the high school.
Really? I haven't got that bad of a voice.
Well, that would be, okay, then I'll generate the letter and send it.
Okay, well, I'll go with you to go with the school.
Okay. that'd be
Yeah,
good then.
they can't, it's hard to say no when you're standing there.
Glaring or with candy? No.
Bleeding eyes.
Candy.
All right, so then I'll go ahead and schedule that.
Okay.
Now,
So it's the taps and the
national anthem?
national anthem, are those the only two?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, they could be doing
They can.
other patriotic.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, that doesn't necessarily have just to be, or just has to be the national anthem. You know, America
America
Beautiful,
Beautiful, right.
you know, and
I like that one.
I didn't.
key songs of them rolling, you know, the Marine song.
Yeah, you could do the songs for
The armies, all of
the
them.
army. and
Yes,
Military.
yeah.
All of them.
That would be awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Do them all,
yeah,
absolutely.
do 'em all.
They learn to play one, that would be good.
Now, the last one, other than, of course, the volunteers, we're already at 353. Once, that's wreaths already sponsored. Once I put in the one for Freeport, of course, that's gonna be another 100. And then if we get the ones from the Western Bank, which will be another 100.
And the sheriffs.
the sheriffs, you know, so we're getting close to the 900 that we requested. But,
So each wreath is $100?
No.
no, no,
Each
15,
wreath
the corporate sponsor is 1,500 for 100 wreaths.
Oh,
They're
okay.
They're
The 15
$15 a piece.
Okay,
How
because
much
what I would
was
like
it
to do is once a month at council to have comments on it and just to keep it in front of everybody.
Good.
And I would like to
Good.
have the form and how they can get
Okay.
the form
All right.
and, you know, the amount, and what is the cutoff date? Because we have to have.
We have to
numbers.
have everything the day after Thanksgiving,
Okay.
so it has to.
And they're $15 a piece this year?
Yes, they're all,
Not 12.
No,
Okay.
it's
15
15.
bucks.
Yeah, $15 a week. And Evergreen Cemetery is in the program of 3 for 2, meaning that for every 2 wreaths, we get a free one.
Oh.
So if you sponsored 2, we would actually be getting 3 wreaths
Okay.
from your sponsorship.
Okay.
So
So if I get the 10 like I did. So then we'll have 15, just like that. That's good. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
all right.
Between
And
me and
then-
Charles, we pick it 15 acres.
The last thing I have are for volunteers. Last year, it was good for as many people as we got, you know, and, but I think this year, Don and I spent 3 days, because it's grave specific. So actually, if somebody specifies that when they're gonna buy the wreath, they want it on their uncle, their father, their brother, whatever, we have to honor that. So we have to find that grave in order to do it.
Yeah.
And we actually spent 3 days, and this is even after the ceremony at the cemetery, trying to find, and they requested pictures, so we had to take pictures of everything. I sent them, I emailed them all back to the family. Everybody was happy. So this year, once I get all the sponsorships that are grade specific, I want to go out there and actually do what we can for locating these graves.
Isn't that on the map?
No, don't even talk map.
Yeah.
I've been going crazy down there. I want to update
I brought
the
you
map.
some.
And I know where the streets are. But Second Street, you go up First Street, and then Second Street goes here, and then you go up here, and it's Third Street, and then you turn here into Second, and then it's this one, and then Second is way down here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely, and I know that cemetery.
We
And
can
I
find-
got so confused the other day trying to put down where what was. I didn't know where it was.
Last year, Snooty gave me real good information as far as spreadsheets that had all the different names, locations, and whatever. So that helped tremendously. But like I said, for 3 days afterwards, we were still trying to find and locate
Well, we
anybody.
got Second Street over here, we've also got Second Street over here.
Yeah, some
There's no
of the
zoning.
graves are barely marked, so you have to just look
Yeah,
at every
right.
grave there.
I remember that.
And then also, one of the ideas that the commander for the VFW asked that I present to you guys is possibly work so that, and maybe with Freeport, and I saw Terry today, and he says, whatever you guys need, we'll work with you, we'll get it done. So, leaning on what he said and what was asked of, and maybe we could possibly do, is every veteran have a pipe, a PVC pipe or something stuck in anywhere in that to designate that it's a veteran, so that when they go to place the flags, all they have to do is place the flags
And
there.
they don't blow down. and I
Yes,
put 'em up
yes.
there.
Yes.
That's a great
Yes,
idea.
and I
And that
think
makes it easier to identify them.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah, well, and
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good Eagle
That's
Scout
a great
project
idea.
too.
I had
Well,
to
that's
call back.
where he was going with it, is if we could do the proposal and get it, pass it on to Freeport for them to possibly provide the piping.
Piping?
And
Yes.
have them cut it.
Yes, absolutely, 12
That's what
inches.
they did over at the other cemetery.
Oh, it's nice,
Yes,
it's nice.
and that's what Pete Garcia did
That's what
with
we have
Lemon
at
Gardens.
the, at the Olivet condominium in Thatcher,
Yeah.
is we have
So,
PVC.
that's what I
That's
need
somebody raised
from
them.
the committee to say, okay, should we go ahead and do it? And if we do, then I'll do the proposal, I'll do the letter and stuff on the behalf of the cemetery.
That'd be great.
Do you want to make the motion that?
Yeah.
We can't, it's this, Diane, it's only discussion and update.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, that's what I was gonna say next, is if that's what you wanna do, it's that way you can, this committee's decision. Just put that on the next one, so that way you
It's not
can,
until, when, 3 months?
we can have, we can have meetings up to once a month. And we can also have special session meetings.
Well, I think we need a special one to get that one rolling.
You can. We could,
Yeah.
we can.
You can have it, as
We
long
have,
as you've noticed it, if,
We can meet and
you
vote
can
on
meet
that.
next week or the
the
week after.
3 months,
or whatever.
the 3 months thing, I believe, is a minimum of the
Yes.
amount of meetings that we have to have. We can have meetings as many as you want.
I think this is.
If it's
important.
not scheduled, if it's not a scheduled one that we have, then it needs to be a special session one.
Special.
That's fine, and I'll make myself available.
And it can't be PVC, it has to be that metal tubing that
Yeah.
they use for electricity, the conduit pipe. It's aluminum pipe and you can hammer on it if you need to,
You have to get it in the
but
ground.
PVC, it won't do it.
I thought that they had PVC though at
I would-
Evergreen.
I would be,
No,
concerned
go out and
with,
look. Go out and look at
we can go look.
Memory Gardens and see what they've got.
We can look, I would be a little concerned about erosion, like, the metal rusting
I'd be
away.
concerned about lightning.
It might look,
They're not how.
We'll go out there and check it.
plastic, PVC will also eventually,
Yeah, just.
go through its life expectancy, but it'll
They're
get,
that rocket,
well, yeah, this is the one thing, and I know that you're getting at is trying to get into the rock, it might be tough, but
It is.
Well, if
that's
it's
kind of the
steel-
way Bisbee is, we're
If
full of
it's
rock.
steel pipe, you can pound it in there. You cut up those stupid pipes that are still up there from those ratty flags. Use them.
So yeah, as far as that, the next meeting, if you want to make sure, we want to get it in earlier, all you have to do is request it, and then we post it and you can have it. I get with Nina to make sure that we can get that on a schedule, because we got to make sure that we're not, there are other committees that have meetings, and and other things. So get with Nina if you guys want to have a special session.
We
and
don't
she'll
go to
schedule-
Lorena?
No, Nina will, that goes to the city clerk.
Yeah, that's 9. Can I ask a question in regards to the time to meet? Does it have to be 5:30?
Yes. We can't, the committee meetings can't start any earlier than 5:30. I checked. I was kind of hoping that we could have them during, but I'm not quite sure why that is. I don't know if it's
Because it's in the charter.
there.
Oh, okay. Because that was why, when I talked to Terry today, he said that's the reason why he can't come, because it's,
At 5:30.
and during the day when you had him before, he said.
Yeah, it's 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
They were nice.
No, you can ask for a waiver.
We can ask for a waiver on the time?
We go to the council for that, right?
Yeah, they have to be approved.
If you wanted to have a special session at 9 o'clock in the morning, let me know. I'll get it on the,
Well,
Yeah.
that.
we'll get it on the council so the council can approve it.
Because that would be.
Nice
good
to
if
have-
we have him there.
Yeah, Freeport there. He hasn't
Yeah,
been.
but I'm talking about your regular sessions or whatever, or a coverall for any session that
Any
you
session.
have. That way, if it's a special session or not, this is your regular set. But it has to be approved, and you have to ask for a waiver.
Okay.
Well, let's do that. Do you ask for it because you're a liaison?
I can do it, yeah. If that's what you want, so.
Better for you in the morning than late at night, or you're in.
Well, we have to, that has to be on your special session also.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. So you'll ask if we can have one to get this, so we can get the pipe thing going?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, a special one?
Yeah, for the pipes.
No, well,
Suze?
you can,
To get a special session,
all you have to do is call Nina.
yes,
Just call Nina and find out.
and she'll
when's a good
schedule
day.
it.
Yeah,
I'll talk to
yeah,
him
that's
Monday.
not a problem.
You.
It's changing the time
Okay.
that.
Grace
has
said
to be
she would
approved.
go and talk to Nina.
When I
Okay.
show up to work on Monday, I'll ask her.
Okay.
You gonna set
Oh,
it
yeah,
up?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
You
you're
can
coming to
set
work.
it up then?
Yes,
And then I'm gonna have to,
I'll check with 9.
all right,
Monday.
get the ball moving. Okay. Member comments other than that? Staff comments?
I have none.
Future items for discussion?
Oh, Veterans Day.
I didn't bring my list in, I had a bunch of,
Will Frank and VFW be doing the ceremony?
Well, the last year, they did it up at the pit, and that was it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we need to have something in our cemetery for Veterans Day.
don't we have anybody at American Legion that
Well, how about the ladies auxiliary? Because now the poppy is supposed to be for the World War I veterans, and that's Veterans Day. So why can't they maybe do the ceremony at our cemetery for Veterans Day?
You check with them.
do it?
What do you guys think?
You can put it on the agenda
We can-
to discuss it next
Yeah,
meeting.
I think.
Yeah, because what my understanding is the VFW is for World War II this
And
way.
this way.
Yes.
Veterans
And
of War and War.
veterans, yeah, veterans, our Veteran Day is for
World War,
World War I.
yeah, and that's where the red poppy came in.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I said I didn't know that.
I'm gonna send you some paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the future items then. Well, if you guys think of anything, call Nina and tell us to jot it down. Because you're not gonna catch me at home for a while. Because I'm going, like you did. Okay. In the future items, we're on a special session, pipes, which is going to be. Okay, anything else?
Oh, sounds good.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I was gonna say, you have to second that one because you're sitting in Mr. Higgins' chair.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in Mr. Higgins' chair.
He
Yes.
always
He
motions.
does the motion.
He does the seconds.
No, he
Yeah.
does, we does the
Everybody
second.
just looks at him and he does the adjournment.
I'm just joking.
Oh,
Go
he's
ahead.
ready to move, huh? Out of here, baby.
Well, you might as well let him have it because he's first at it anyway,
Oh,
so.
he's ready to go.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Let's get back out here.
Aye, aye,
So
aye.
we're adjourning at 6:20.
Well, we did well.
Yes, got a lot done too.